Madison is a social media influencer currently on a solo trip to Thailand. Well, it wasn't supposed to be solo. Her boyfriend Ryan just bailed on her at the last moment. Just like every other person on social media, her life looks picture perfect, but she has been strolling around her hotel and feeling lonely and empty the entire trip. One similar evening, a fairly older man than Madison tries to flirt with her. CW, a girl with a birthmark on her face, saves Madison from the awkward conversation and invites her to a walk, something Madison readily agrees to. CW shows Madison around different places. CW doesn't belong to Thailand, but likes to stay wherever she feels like. She even helps Madison take pictures for her account, but doesn't like being captured. Closer to Madison's departure, the two come back at night only to find Madison's hotel room broken into and her passport stolen. CW helps her report it but tells her it won't be of any use and she should just wait for the temporary passport. Madison calls her red flag boyfriend, but Ryan starts blaming her. Tired of him, Madison tells him they should break up, but the guy has the audacity to say they should talk when she's calmed down. Madison moves to another place, inviting CW with her. CW tells Madison she has a surprise for her the next day and takes her out at sunrise. Madison is surprised to see CW has a boat and is about to post it when CW laughs, telling her to wait as the actual place is worth posting. The two of them travel to a far-off island. While CW settles her boat, Madison looks around a little surprised to see a tally on a log nearby, as if someone has been counting days. Thinking it must be an illusion, she parties the whole day with CW. As the two sit at night, Madison casually shares how overprotective her mother used to be, that she would have said CW took her here to murder her. CW throws a lazy laugh, mentioning she won't do so, and proceeds to add that she will, however, leave Madison here and take away her belongings. So with no signals and nobody coming for help, she will die on her own in a few days. Madison laughs, pointing to the one flaw in the conversation, that someone will indeed come looking for her. CW counters that people don't really care about influencers, and it won't get to that point if CW takes over her account and pretends to be her. Madison ignores the thoroughness of this joke and CW's creepy aura and laughs the conversation away, not at all expecting that the entire narration is exactly what's going to happen to her the next day as CW leaves her to rot there. You'd be surprised what excellent editing skills can do for you. 3 weeks later, CW is living in Madison's place, spending her money, ghosting Ryan, and posting as Madison. How, do you ask? Well, all she does is use a blonde wig, go out, take pictures, and then edit Madison's face in place using all the photos she ever took of her. After doing so for a little while, she casually announces taking a break on social media and enjoys all the money and sponsored products that came for Madison. After she is done with this person, she decides to look for another social media influencer to scam. Well, scam is a small word for what this psychotic thing is always up to. The next target is Jessica, another influencer on a solo trip to Thailand. CW stalks her for a good amount of time before following her to a local shop where she is planning to buy a statue of Buddha. CW walks in and intervenes that it is fake, and she can tell Jessica where to find a real one. However, Jessica tells her that she doesn't care about it and buys it anyway after politely thanking CW. So her cliché plan has been shot down right there. Getting home, CW starts stalking her account and realizes she isn't someone who would feel lonely on this trip. Jessica believes that being alone is therapeutic and works on promoting inner growth among people. A different strategy strikes in CW's mind as the next night, she casually walks up to Jessica in her hotel bar. She jokes about how Jessica might be following her and then proceeds to act like she is fangirling for Jessica. Seeing her blank look, CW panics and apologizes, but as she turns to walk away, Jessica ignores all the blaring alarms in her head and calls out to CW. So the cycle begins again when another influencer trusts a stranger a little too much. The influencer's passport gets stolen, so CW invites her over to her house. Well, Madison's house to be precise. However, there's a catch this time. The door of the house is open. There are floor pedals on the floor leading downstairs to a romantic candlelight dinner, but CW has no one to do that for her. Suddenly, her queries are answered when Ryan walks into the lounge, but he is also bewildered as to who CW is. Well, Madison wasn't entirely wrong that someone would come looking for her, but who'd expect Ryan to be that? CW lies to Ryan that Madison allowed her to live here with them, and simultaneously lies to Jessica that her friend Madison was staying at her place. Pretty weird that the two didn't notice this contradiction. Ryan casually tells CW that he will wait for Madison in her room and leaves. CW has some audacity to be mad at the guy, as if the place actually belongs to her. However, the next day, CW uses voiceover just like in the vlogs to call Ryan and tells him that she doesn't want anything to do with her and tell her to leave. Luckily, Ryan can sense something is wrong but doesn't show it. He lies to CW that Madison said she'll be back soon. Jessica comes down asking CW about their plans, but CW lies that she has some work. Ryan volunteers to tag along with Jessica, but CW senses the danger and tags along. However, she still makes the mistake of walking away to order food for the three. While taking pictures for Jessica, Ryan questions CW and mentions how Madison's passport got stolen. Before Jessica could answer, CW came back. So, later, Jessica casually makes a joke about break-ins and stealing to see CW's reaction. CW takes a good pause before calling it surprisingly normal around here. At night, CW is observing Ryan and Jessica in a bar when a notification makes her take her phone out. Madison received a message request from Jessica, and the next moment Jessica went out of the bar. Madison rushes home behind Jessica to find her packing and leaving. Not being able to cover the situation, Jessica confronts CW that she is very creepy, and that's something that Jessica shouldn't have ignored the first time. CW seems offended and triggered, as if she hasn't been acting like creeps at all. But what no one would have expected was CW slamming Jessica's head to a rocky wall and then choking her to death. CW puts Jessica's body in her suitcase and cleans the blood when Ryan brings a party home. Acting annoyed, as if she owns the house, she makes Ryan send those people back. Later at night, CW decides to kill Ryan too, but suddenly her phone lights up showing Ryan tagged her in a post. No matter how smart she acted, she ended up being captured in the background of one of Madison's pictures. Now that her face is up on the internet, she couldn't just kill him. But that doesn't mean this cunning lady is short of plans. She decides to take Ryan out to drinks after editing Madison's photo with a guy and posting it showing she's moved on. She intoxicates him with some medicine and creates a scenario that hints Ryan got a little too close to her in a drunk state, so naturally Ryan decides to leave. However, not for home. He goes to the hotel Madison posted from and gets to know she isn't there. He has also been confused as to why Madison would come to the same hotel where her passport was stolen. Coincidentally, the same man is on the bar who flirted with Madison. Seeing her photo, he recalls Madison leaving with CW, finally making the dots connect in Ryan's mind. He notices Madison's recent videos, and after slowing them down too much, he ends up realizing they are photoshopped. He goes back to Madison's house and finds her diary where the entry is to the island. He then hits CW and ties her up, questioning what she did. CW keeps acting like she is innocent and blaming Ryan for abusing Madison, but Ryan never did that. However, CW forged a text conversation with Madison as proof that he did. Ryan not getting off her back makes her tell him that she'll take him to Madison. However, even a tied-up CW is a dangerous woman. As the two are getting on the boat, she throws him in the water, jumps in, and somehow manages to cut his neck and kill him. Using Madison's account, she accuses Ryan of being an abuser. As social media storms against Ryan, CW decides to throw his body on the same island. However, reaching the island, she is confused to see the ashes of their bonfire still fresh. CW runs around to look for the alive victim when she comes across two graves, indicating that one is indeed alive. The moment she turns back, Madison strikes her head with wood, knocking her out. Madison then rushes to the boat and gets on it. Either she is traumatized or doesn't care enough, because she just throws Ryan's body out after seeing it and leaves. CW wakes up and rushes to the boat, and like the psycho she is, she starts laughing, knowing karma hit her quite literally.